Hello, adventurers. My name's Tyler.
And I'm Richard.
On today's episode, we're doing a Dungeons and Dragons news roundup. Welcome to True Strike.
Howdy, folks, and welcome back to the
Yeehaw!
show. It's been a while since we've talked D&D news.
I thought you were going to say since we did one of these. Like, it's been a week.
Oh, it's been a while since we did one of these talking about
That's true.
Generalized news.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so we missed a lot of stuff. We didn't miss it, but we haven't had a chance to actually talk about some of the higher level news beats that have happened in the last, couple of months on Dungeons and Dragons. There's a lot of stuff, but these are just kind of the ones that stood out to me that I read about as they were happening. That kind of made a mental note of one day we should talk about some of these things, or maybe bring them up. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So there's not a ton of them, and some of them are a little bit more in depth than others. Not all of them are positive. Some of them are negative.
Yeah.
But that's what we're here for.
In typical True Strike. See, that's sort of typical True Strike, in typical fashion. Like Richard said, this is all news stories that are past and everything. We're just here giving our 2 cents on some stuff for anyone who actually cares about that. Also, I haven't even read these news stories ahead of time. So Richard's going to throw them at me. He says I probably know, so I probably do, but maybe I've missed some.
Yeah, some of these you definitely know. Some of them may be a surprise to you.
I'm excited.
I would assume that you probably know most of these.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because some of them are either widely covered or not very covered at all, because even one of these on the list I didn't know about until I saw an article and a link to it, and I listened to it, and I was like, oh, I had no idea this was coming, and it's right up your alley too.
Ooh.
Which is really cool. So we're just going to jump right in and talk about some newsy stuff.
What do we got?
You've missed. The first thing is not new news at all, but
none of this is new news.
None of this is new news at all, but this is even
old news,
further removed from that, because it's talking about the player's handbook.
We covered that.
We covered that. Yeah, we talked about that. I just thought it was interesting because I didn't realize this. This is one of those things that I didn't really realize or didn't know because it wasn't really widely talked about, at least in the news circles that I was listening to, because a lot of it's negative out there. Is the player's handbook.
The internet negative.
Yeah, being negative. What?
Insanity. Ridiculous.
But yeah, being their fastest selling product in the last 50 years.
Ooh, and wait, so this is just straight up.
Straight up, their fastest selling product. And it knocked down Tasha's Cauldron, which was previously it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it sold gangbusters.
Okay.
Yeah, which, they had, 3,000 copies at Gen Con, which was the pre kind of a thing that they did, which we got in on. We got some of those copies. I don't know if that 3,000 includes, I know they brought 3,000 to sell.
Do you not know if it included the press ones?
Does that include the press ones?
No way.
I don't think so. But the press one is also a very small number.
Oh, so, there was hundreds.
There was maybe hundreds.
Well, even 100. Maybe 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they brought 3,000 there. And then after that, like I said, it was one of their best selling products, which is huge.
For sure.
And also spilling over into the Dungeon Master's Guide. It kind of also made them examine that as well, because it was such a hot selling thing.
Yeah.
I think the stat where they printed 3 times as many of this print that they did the 2014 print of the player's handbook. And then they already, when they did the Dungeon Masters release, they immediately put in another reorder for books, because the guide, they were anticipating the guide was going to sell just as well.
Right.
Which it is selling well, just as well as the player's handbook. No, so it has not.
I was going to say that's tough.
That record that the player's handbook set, but then again, is it going to? Because the Dungeon Master's Guide has a smaller audience.
That's what I was going to say. The DMG should be more niche than the player's handbook.
Be more niche. But it's interesting because before the player's handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide had actually dropped, there was a lot of discussion amongst the community as to who was going to buy into this new thing.
This is all right. So this factors into next week's topic already, which is funny that we're talking about it now. But
we're not going to get deep into the weeds on it here, because we're going to talk about it next week.
But Yeah, it's interesting to see how many people stuck to their guns.
Yeah, how many people
On
stuck
this
to their
one.
guns on this one? Yeah. But yeah, I was surprised to hear that the player's handbook, not only I knew it did well, but that it did as well as it did to the point where they could call it their top selling product in the last 50 years.
It's got a couple things going for it. One, when 2014 edition released, it wasn't the hotness that it is now between the pandemic and everything. Like, it had that big boon. And so now you've got more eyes on it. This just shows you that not only did you have a lot of new people waiting, which as we suspected would happen, waiting on the new edition, air quotes, to release, but you also had people that had the previous version jumping in immediately if it did so well at launch. Do we have the numbers on what they sold at launch on the 24 edition?
I don't hear in front of me. No, I don't have them, but I know they're out there. I know statistics are out there, but they're also not 100% accurate.
Right.
Because they, it's not data that they just release publicly as far as like we sold X number of copies.
I just want to know if it was like big boost at the beginning, but will, trail off.
So I do know that it was a huge jump in the first week.
Yeah.
Like within the first week, 2 weeks, it was stated as like that was like a massive push. So it was right there, right in the beginning. It was a massive number. So yeah, it definitely did start off strong and then taper off. So
okay, well, good for them.
Yeah, no, it
congrats,
was
Watsy, on your launch.
On that. Now to a little bit of negative news. The next story is going back into more layoffs.
For Watsy?
For Watsy. Yeah.
Of course.
No, layoffs. So we were here last year.
Well, I would say I think last time we talked news, it was layoffs.
It was layoffs because it was right before Christmas. Because remember, they were like, we're doing layoffs.
Wow, we don't cover news often.
Christmas. And
it's like
again,
an annual.
We're back into more layoffs.
Why are they doing this at the holidays?
It's got something to do with their fiscal year.
Yeah.
And when they decide to do company-wide restructuring, they call it.
They can't do it in like March like everybody else. They do
it right before Christmas. Yeah, every year. So yeah, they did a whole new round of layoffs. It's not as massive of a list that we saw before, but it is definitely there. It's significant this time, though, because of some of their choices, namely one big one, which is Dixon DeBow. Do you know who Dixon DeBow is?
No.
So we're not big enough to know who Dixon DeBow is yet because we haven't talked to him.
Is a community person?
Dixon DeBow is one of the main community leads for creators. He's was basically kind of like the creator liaison.
I wonder if this is why I haven't heard back because I'm waiting on a reply for a media.
Yeah. So Dixon, he was one of, and this is a really confusing choice on this whole thing, which is why this layoff story is interesting. I mean, it's interesting because they're laying off more people, but again, company restructuring. This isn't a Hasbro specific thing.
Yeah.
This is like tons of companies right now are doing this. A lot of companies are doing this. A lot of businesses are doing this. It's very unfortunate. But specifically here, this one is very weird because of the fact that this time, like a year ago, and this time around the OGL, Dixon was the person who was really spearheading the softening of the relationship between WotC Hasbro and the big creators.
Yeah.
Dixon was the one who was very strongly making this a not war, an all-out war.
Which that's saying something because
yes, it's huge. Like this person was responsible, I think, for quite a few large creators not straying as far away from D&D as they wanted to and were vocally saying they were going to for a very long time around the OGL. So it's a weird decision to drop somebody like Dixon, who was such a huge help to them.
Why do that now?
A controversial time.
Right.
And why do that now?
I wonder if there's
outside of company restructuring.
Devil's advocate. I wonder if there's something, what do we not know, right? Was this person doing their job perfectly and this is entirely unwarranted and is just for dollars and donuts?
Yeah.
Or is this just an unfortunate thing that happened for them that is just, number crunching?
Yeah. I mean, according to them, it's just he's one name on a list of names that need to go because of restructure.
Man, do we know if they've been replaced?
No, they have not been replaced as of yet, I don't think. And I don't think they're going to be replaced. I think that there is somebody that is in mind, but it's not the same kind of position.
I hope this isn't some AI customer service.
No,
something.
I think that somebody's going to take his job, but it's not going to be the same relation kind of liaison job. I think that they're going to change things up a little bit.
I don't like that.
Which I don't like, and it sounds bad because it's such a weird decision, because you see how bad the OGL scandal could have gone but didn't go. And I believe that Dixon had a lot of sway in the front line of that small war in kind of smoothing things over and really kind of assuring people that, like, no, we're going to fix this as a company. It's going to get better. Just don't leave us, kind of a situation.
Right.
And to have somebody that beloved by large content creators just gone is shocking, to say the least. So I don't know. Who knows why? I'd like to think that he didn't do anything wrong and it's just name on a list, unfortunate casualty of restructuring. But I guess we don't really know until we know. But a very weird decision.
That's the thing is I would like to, I need to like internalize it and justify it with like they did something and there's something we don't know. And if it is just no, you were a model employee and we have just changed how we're doing things. Mm-hmm. And it's someone that was so instrumental in, dampening the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I hope they bounce back and find something better.
Unfortunate. Somebody like that, he's bound to find work, bound to find a place. So, hopefully it's sooner than later.
Yeah.
Speaking of people not in positions anymore, what about Chris Perkins?
Yeah. That one also surprised me in a, so what we're getting at right here. So between working on the books and everything like that, this is kind of, he's worked on both, right? 2014 and 2024, and has moved up, I believe, right, in the company?
Yes.
So what is the actual position?
What they've actually said he's going to be doing, I don't think yet. Not officially, no.
But it is up.
But it's up. He's being
So is this umbrella, like, watching over more things? Like, we all know Chris.
I would assume, like,
you think it's going to be
high level
media relations
managing?
No.
Oh, no, they won't put him. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they've actually said exactly what his new position is going to be. Just slightly different than, well, obviously he's not going to be doing. Yeah, he's not going to be doing what he has been doing as far as like the work on the books.
Hand on the books.
Yeah, hand on the books, and that ends with the Dungeon Master's Guide. That's like his last book that he's going to be credited as the product lead. Now he did work with work on the Monster Manual. Yeah. But I'm assuming he's not going to be credited on that because he's not the product lead on the Monster Manual. So the Dungeon Master Guide is his last book where he's going to be the product lead. I don't know who the product lead is on the Monster Manual, but I assume he also had a lot of work on this. But yeah, we don't know what he's doing. Who's replacing him is the other thing.
Crawford? Does Crawford? I mean, does Crawford just kind of take a lateral shift? Like, I mean, there's the names you think of, right?
Yeah. No.
I just hope this is selfishly, I hope we just still see as much Chris Perkins as we do currently. I don't want him to go behind the veil.
Oh, behind the scenes. We don't see him in YouTube videos. Right. We don't see him out in the public anymore.
I want to see him on the stage, side by side, because those two, Chris Perkins and Andrew Crawford, are synonymous with D&D for me, at least at its current stage. And I like that. I like having these faces and these voices that we can count on to at least always spin a positive message, even if like behind the scenes it's a little shadier from time to time. And I trust when he tells us things. And if he's gonna be farther in the background, does that change?
I don't think so. I think that he is still going to be a face, especially at events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I still see him doing a lot of that stuff. And I
hope so.
also do see him.
There's value to his face.
There's value to his face. There's value to his input.
Yes.
It's definitely, he is going to be ever present on products that are coming out. Right. Because there's like, I don't care what position they put him in. There's no way that he's not going to dip his toe into every single product that they're doing and give input, and they're not going to say no to that kind of a situation, right?
Hopefully that's the position he's getting moved to.
Yeah, maybe.
The creative director of Dungeons and Dragons, you know,
yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But no, I don't think he's going anywhere as far as like being a face, a forward face. I don't think he's going to disappear. We're never going to hear from him again because they've got him toiling off in an office in a corner somewhere with no windows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to be the case. It is interesting because those are big shoes to fill. So if it's not like Crawford just taking over stuff,
just taking more work.
Yeah. Who do they put in there next to him? Is this, time for a face that people do know, or is it somebody new with new ideas and new input for a new round of materials coming forward from, 2040?
The higher internal, the higher external.
Yeah. Yeah. If Daggerheart wasn't a thing, then the people talking about Matthew Mercer stepping in.
Gosh, stop. I mean, it's so busy.
Would be interesting, but with Daggerheart and beacons and all that stuff and Critical Role in general, there's no way possible.
I mean, they're already warring with WotC at this point anyway.
There's
rights
no
or
way. I've heard people say that, and I've seen it online and stuff like that, but that's just pie in the sky.
They want to believe.
But yeah, there's no way that Matt Mercer has that kind of time to devote outside of what he has devoted, which is consultation on those books. Could you imagine
the pay cut he would take?
Gosh, the pay cut he would take. He would just be doing it for funsies.
Absolutely, yeah.
It would just be for funsies if he was going to do it. Just so he could say, like, hey, check me out. I'm product lead on this new book.
I promise I'm not going to make bad decisions so I can promote Daggerheart.
Yeah, no. I think this is a really good idea, you guys. Wink. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It is kind of it's sad because Chris Perkins
end of an
era, right?
Yeah.
So it is kind of like that thing when you hear it, you're like, oh, sad, like that he's moving on, and we're not gonna have the same kind of input from him moving forward, but almost also inevitable considering the success of the 2024 Player's Handbook that we talked about earlier.
I still want to see what the legs look like.
Yeah.
And does Daggerheart take a chunk
out of it? Yeah. I don't know. That's another discussion.
Mm-hmm. Discussion for another day.
Another day. Next thing we have on here is Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I bet you didn't expect that. Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon.
They make Invincible.
This is
the
interesting.
Animation. It's very good.
If you haven't seen Secret Level yet, it is from the makers of Love, Death, and Robots. Yep. Devin. I don't know who Devin Robot is. But
do you love him?
They're doing a set of I would almost call them one-shots.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. They're one-shots. They're singular episodes.
Yeah, anthology series.
Anthology series, yeah. And they're all based on
different IPs.
Video games.
Nerdy IPs.
Tabletop stuff, video game stuff. And there's a ton of them on here, and surprisingly enough, Dungeons and Dragons made the list.
Yeah, there's a couple on the. I've seen trailers and stuff for this. Actually, I haven't read through your list. I know you have it.
The list is right here.
Which I assume we'll go through in a second. Yeah. But there's a couple that took me that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, there are some on this list that you're all like, huh? And then some are like, oh yeah. So right at the top, we have the first one is Warhammer 40K. A lot of people are excited for that one.
And that one, they've already got, like, they're supposed to be working on a 40K show, right?
Yes.
So interesting that they've used. I wonder if that extends their like license with them.
Maybe.
Because I heard, maybe I'm wrong, but I've heard the scuttlebutt that if they don't come with an agreement with them and Cavill by a certain date, then that all breaks apart and they have to start over and everything. Mm-hmm. I wonder if this episode extends that.
I bet it does. Yeah.
So
we have Warhammer. We have Concord.
That's still happening?
Is that still happening? I don't know. If it depends on how much money they dumped into this. I would assume yes, Concord is still happening.
What if, all right, hear me out. This show comes out. People are like, wow, these characters are endearing.
Great. I really wish there was a game based on this show. So, okay. The plan, as far as I know, we're straying from Dungeons and Dragons here real quick, is that Concord will eventually re-release.
Will it?
Yes.
When? The developer's gone.
There's no... Yeah, but there's an IP there. There's a skeleton there.
Sure.
Can it be fixed to be salvaged to be a game?
But they just dumped that entire company. Like, that studio's done.
But when this show comes out, this one shot,
and it blows up,
and it blows up, and it goes viral because everybody loves the characters.
Yeah, they love the trash can
characters that totally aren't Guardians of the Galaxy. They're not Guardians of the Galaxy. They're their own thing, nothing alike.
Yeah.
Then they need a game to follow it. So maybe this is the revival of Concord. In what multiverse do we live in that Sony dumps more millions into reviving Concord because the Amazon show did well? 2025.
I think it's more likely Concord is back. Removed from the lineup.
We'll see. Like,
I think Sony dumps money into Amazon's lap for them to not release the episode.
They probably have enough of it left to where they can release it. And to be perfectly honest, the Concord shorts did really well. People did enjoy the shorts.
I think. All right.
So the animated shorts that they released that were going alongside the game, people really did enjoy those.
I am not speaking with my wallet because I did not pre-order or purchase Concord. I didn't have enough chance to buy it after a week or two.
Now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. And I think the idea on paper is really cool. Of hey, I'm tired of buying characters and all this live service crap and blah, blah, blah. They're like, hey, pay $40 and you're just in. $40 isn't that bad.
No.
But maybe it's too much for this because look at all these free-to-play offerings. Yes, but free-to-play has all the crap you don't want. It has all the skins and all the things you're telling me you don't want. $40 gets you everything. It should be awesome. It should be perfect. On paper,
it should have been a great game.
If And like, oh, you're getting weekly like shorts, you're getting weekly like cutscenes that like tie a big story together, like already recorded and ready to go for like the next year. That's super rad. It's a cool way to keep you coming back. If this game had launched after this episode, do you think it would have done differently?
No, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think.
But it's going to blow up. It's going to be huge.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe they don't have to do anything because they're just going to play the shorts they haven't released yet, and they're going to call it Concord. They're just gonna... We're
going to get a movie franchise. Sony's Concord.
Yeah.
The game that never existed.
The game that never existed.
We just forget about that.
So yeah, Concord. Next one, Mega Man. I'm excited about that one.
Are you really?
Yeah, that could be really fun.
I've just never been a big Mega Man fan.
I love Mega Man. And there are so many, like, the only thing that I don't like about this is...
Astro Boy?
Astro Boy. Who's he going to face? Like, are we...
Riley. Isn't that the guy's name? Dr. Wiley with a W, right?
I was going to say, you were really close. No, not like over. You think he's really going to go with the overarching villain? I'm thinking like
this is
much smaller.
This is a
level.
one shot.
Yeah, I know. Like Cutman, maybe. Like
you think we get the Cutman episode?
On his head. It's going to be great.
No, that's part of the Amazon.
I hope it's Cutman.
It's going to be a whole series.
I really hope it's Cutman.
If this one shot does well, I'm full in on now. One shot. If this one shot does well against Wiley, they're gonna do a whole anthology of just Mega Man. And it's the best part is you'll be able to watch the episodes in any order.
Yeah, any order you want to. Next one, Unreal Tournament.
Franchises I have not heard of in a long time.
Unreal Tournament. Interesting.
But, hey.
Yeah, I can see how this could work. I mean, it could be cool. It could be a little short because there are some existing shorts out there in the Love, Death, and Robots that kind of feel like there's a tournament episode, I believe, that's like tournament fighters and stuff like that. So they could make this into a compelling little one shot.
This could be cool.
Could be cool. New World of Turnham.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
I actually want to check that out. Yeah, that it's on console.
Mm-hmm. Armored Core. That could be a really fun one shot.
They basically just made this for our associated work.
Yeah.
Like they're two of his favorite franchises in the world
right here.
Are all in this one show.
That could be fun. Spelunky. I'm excited for that one. Little cutesy Indiana Jones
fact
one
that
shot.
Armored Core and Spelunky are both going to be part of the same series.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't brain it. Like Armored Core, I think, speaking of like half of these could be their own series. I think Armored Core really could be.
Yeah.
It could be the a high quality CGI Gundam. You know what I mean? Like it's this like cool modern take, especially as big as FromSoft is. Like this could be great. And that game did super well last year. Game of the year for a lot of people. Spelunky though.
Yeah. Hey, I like Spelunky.
People love Spelunky.
That's a very good game.
Usually very different people than the Armored Core.
Yes.
And it's funny, like I want to see like the animation quality like or are we getting like highly detailed, photorealistic, and then Wreck-It Ralph?
I think it's going to be like super cartoony.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be super
CG
cartoony,
or like 2D?
CG.
This is all CG, right?
This is all CG.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be super cartoony CG for Spelunky, and I'm okay with that.
Oh no, it needs to
I think
be.
it's going to be great.
God, imagine if it's photoreal.
Um,
It's gonna
I don't know
terrible.
the next one.
Indiana
of Kings.
Jones. Honor of Kings? Yeah, I don't know that one.
I don't know that
Next.
IP. Yeah. Sifu.
Hey!
Didn't play that.
I didn't realize Sifu had a
Yeah.
that's just gonna be a kung fu short.
It's going to be a kung fu
It's
short,
just fighting.
which, can't be
Do
bad.
you think they dive into the aging mechanic at all? Like
No.
he gets like knocked out and then wakes up and has a gray beard,
Gray beard.
and just keeps going?
No.
Okay. Fine.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That's the whole reason we're
Surprise,
talking
this
about
one's
it.
on the list. We'll circle back to that when we get to the end of the list.
Oh.
Outer Worlds. That
Also
could be fun.
interesting.
I
No,
mean,
I truly
That's
yet
going to be
again.
cool.
Oh man, now I'm just thinking it's gonna be the Fallout show like all over again, except it's Outer Worlds.
Yeah. Crossfire? Do you know what this is?
Is that the old like
Okay, so
We shoot the
you're in
balls at each
same
other?
brain- Yeah, it's
Like-
when I think of Crossfire, I immediately think of
Like
you'll
little steel
get
balls?
caught up in the
Yeah.
crossfire, and that super great commercial. You'll get caught up in the crossfire, and you got the little steel ball bearings, and you're shooting with the gun across
Right.
the thing. I don't know how they make that into a animated short.
it's gonna be the best one.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Also, if it's something else, please let us know.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know your IP. Exodus.
I know of this, but I don't know what this
I
is.
don't. There's a couple of different Exoduses. I don't know exactly which one.
Ah,
it's
maybe
going
that's
to
the
be.
issue.
Yeah. So I'm not
We'll
sure.
find out. Thanks, Amazon.
And then the other one on the list was PlayStation.
So vague. So I saw the initial trailer for this. The Kratos is in a scene, right?
Yeah.
And then Jin from Ghost of Tsushima is also in a scene. And I need to know if this is just going to be a supercut flash forward of like notable PlayStation IPs, or if there's going to be any sort of semblance of like continuity to this.
Oh, you know what it's going to be?
It's going to be
a PlayStation All-Stars
right?
episode.
Yeah, it's just going to be a big fight.
Yeah, it's just going to be a big fight.
I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Yeah.
If Kratos doesn't win, no, he would lose against like Parappa or something, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Cut.
I think Sly could really take some folks out.
Sly?
Yeah.
Cooper?
Yeah. You
The
don't think he's
Thievius
in there?
Raccoonus?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, come on.
No way.
I think Sly
Sly's getting taken out by Nathan Drake.
maybe. What about Aloy?
Aloy's taking out Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
We're working up the ladder.
We're working up the ladder.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, when you get to the actual God of War, who stands above?
Yeah, true. I don't know.
Kick.
Kick, punch. So yeah,
He's so flat.
we'll go back to Dungeons and Dragons because
back.
that's
Wait.
why we're here.
When does this
general.
release?
Oh, I don't know.
It's soon.
I
It's like
think soon.
December or something.
Yeah, I believe it's before the end of
All
the
right.
year here.
I'll look it up if you want to check into the talk. We'll circle back to the D&D.
Yeah, so Dungeons and Dragons is on this list, which is pretty amazing. We actually, during the whole teaser trailer thing, we get to see a couple different scenes from it. What you got?
December 10th.
Oh, so this is real soon. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Also, it looks like a bearded photo of what appears to be Nathan Drake, or is that a character from something else entirely on this photo?
I don't know who that is.
Well, either
He looks Roman.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have the Francis blah 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 ring necklace that.
Yeah, I know, but the shirt, it looks Roman to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Dungeons and Dragons, we got to see two different scenes for this. The first one that we got to see was Tiamat.
Rad.
Yeah, which is really
I'll
interesting.
say I haven't watched the newest trailer.
Yeah, so we got to see a very couple quick shots of who looks
God,
like
that's
Tiamat.
so cool. I mean, who else?
Yeah,
It's either an aspect of Tiamat or Tiamat.
The other one that we got to see was what appears to be a gold dragon. and
Cool.
2 adventurers.
That's a tie-in.
So you got 2 adventurers in front of a gold dragon, and then you get a close-up shot of the gold dragon like doing something to one of the adventurers. So yeah, it's something dragon related.
Is it
obviously. I don't.
What are they doing
here? No, he's like sucking his soul out or something like that.
Oh, you had me.
No.
The first half of that.
Stop it. But it seems like whatever we're going to get is, unless these are just teaser shots that have nothing to do with the short, which could be, like they could have.
We have no idea.
They could have pitched
out,
with Tiamat to Amazon to be all like, this is what our show could look like, because we have dragons. Maybe we'll put them in a dungeon.
I love the shoot your shot. If this is a one shot, you're like, we got to go hard.
Yeah.
Straight to Tiamat.
That's the thing, though, is if it's going to be a one shot episode, how much Tiamat lore can you fit in here?
None. You don't need it.
Or is it just an excuse to drop a
giant dragon
multicolored
with
dragon
multi-head?
god?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. You can't go Vecna. Netflix has it.
Oh, true. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. You go giant dragon,
consider the
5
fact
heads.
that like there's parts of it that are already piecemealed out somewhere else that you wouldn't be able to touch, like Vecna. Yeah. What else would you use? Yeah. Interesting. So it brings up an interesting thought, though, because
The Red Wizards of Thay.
we have something like Dungeons and Dragons on this list when we have like the failed Dragonlance stuff, right? That got axed like right off the jump.
That could be so cool too.
And we have the movie, which just did
don't you dare talk negatively about Honor Amongst Thieves.
Okay. I loved Honor Amongst Thieves.
Did you hear it's doing great on streaming?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, supposedly the Netflix numbers are tight.
I knew this was a good movie.
Yes.
It just had a bad box office.
Yes. So I'm very, very hopeful.
So that's
very hopeful.
Yeah.
Even if the sequel has a lower budget, right? Give me these actors again together on screen. Even if you cut back the special effects, bring in the giant vast vistas, bring them in, make it tighter. I don't need the cool effects. I just want these people in the same room.
These people in the same room.
And it's gonna be amazing.
I don't think it's going to be.
Amazing or made period?
The same people.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
So I think there's no way we're not going to see sequels to this. I mean, they made 3 of the other ones.
No, well, okay. All right. There's a difference between a sequel and another Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
Because this is not a sequel to the other garbage movies.
Yeah.
It's no.
Let's not talk about those movies.
Yeah, you're right. Let's not talk about this.
So do I think... Okay, so I see what you're saying. So it's only a sequel in your mind if we get the same cast.
Which they set up a sequel.
Yes, they did. So I don't know.
A continuation.
Is it likely that they can get all those people to commit to another movie? I guess it really just depends on how the legs on this go.
There are 2 actors that are going to be difficult to get back. If you get both of them in the same room.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
And Chris, the best Chris, has already expressed interest.
Yeah.
So that's 1 down. So you get Rodriguez back in. You get everyone else because they're probably fine. They're waiting on this call.
I was going to say everybody else is waiting on the call.
And you're good to go.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I have hope for Secret Level, because this could be, because these shorts, and you kind of hit the nail on the head when you were talking about Mega Man and my idea with this, when you were talking about Mega Man doing well and spawning more things.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like to me. This feels like Amazon was like, hey,
let's
use all of these IPs and we're going to throw them all at the wall and see which one sticks.
Okay.
And if it sticks, then we'll make more of that thing. And that's what I see when I see this, is if they drop these things and... Concord bombs, but Mega Man is like so great. And they're like, we could make more of these and make a lot more money on the Mega Man IP. We're going to make more Mega Men. Or Mega Men? Mega Mans.
The Mega
Mans. And I think that might be the case with this. So if this Dungeons and Dragons hits and it's great and everybody's all like, I need to know more about this giant dragon god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's make more of these. And then that just parlays into more Amazon Prime Dungeons and Dragons content that could eventually lead to more stuff, like more movies, more, actual D&D shows. This could be kind of cool.
I'm just going to name a few. Granted, there's a ton of voice actors in this shows, I guess, that, need respect and everything. It's This just blows my mind, some of these, right? So some of the notable names here, right? We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, Patrick Schwarzenegger, Kevin Hart, Laura Bailey, Keanu Reeves.
Wait, Kevin Hart's in this?
Yes.
Where's Kevin Hart in this?
I don't know.
God, I hope he's in Spelunky.
Oh my God. Stop. All right. Also, it's listed as being 15 episodes, 15 stories set in the worlds of different, games. So that's awesome.
There's only 14 on my list here, I think.
Oh, are you missing something?
I wonder who the 15th is.
Well, there's also one. They could do a second episode with one of these. Two.
Yeah.
Maybe Wikipedia's wrong.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not going to say Wikipedia always gets it right.
Man, I hope Kevin Hart is Spelunky. He's short, too. The guy from Spelunky.
It's going to be... So we're getting... Oh, see, well, this maths out to your thing, too. I'm wondering if they're wrong. Because it's supposed to be... there's supposed to be 7, release days or whatever, with 2 episodes releasing every week.
Oh, okay.
That's 14.
That's 14. Okay.
So, we'll see. Maybe.
We're
doing this on the fly.
I did not know that the Schwarzeneggers were in there.
Right?
Where are they going to be at?
Pac-Man's listed on this list. Did you leave out Pac-Man?
Pac-Man's not on my list. And you know what? I should have realized Pac-Man wasn't on my list because one of the main product materials is a giant golden Pac-Man.
See?
Yeah.
We're getting Pixels, too.
We already did. I was going to say, we already did the Pac-Man movie. It was called Pixels. And it had, what was that? Adam Sandler and who's the guy from King of Queens?
You got everyone.
Yeah.
You got the ghost from Destiny.
I was trying to remember what that movie was actually about. It was aliens, right?
Yeah.
Aliens that were
like watched our
from
stuff.
Pac-Man.
Well, they watched us for they're looking for the best way to beat us or whatever. And
and it was Pac-Man.
It's game stuff or something. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think this could be very interesting because I think that if they do well enough, then it could spawn into more content. And a lot of these IPs would be really fun content.
I'm surprised Fortnite isn't one instead of Unreal Tournament.
I don't think they could afford it.
Oh, it was just too much?
Oh, yeah, no. I think they probably did. And
They're we want Jonesy.
Millions, baby. Yeah. Millions.
Like, what else you got?
And they went to the, was it Capcom for Mega Man? And they're all like, please make something.
I'm very interested in this. I hope it's good.
Some of these are going to be good.
Dude, I think
they're going to be
It's
good.
funny. I feel like Amazon's actually on a pretty good streak right now. People really liked, I haven't watched it, which is why I see people really like. People really liked Fallout. I really like Invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible Vox Machina.
Vox Machina is great.
Amazing.
Fallout was okay.
The Boys does well.
The Boys is weird.
It does well for them.
It does well. It's weird.
So I feel like and I'm probably missing some too, but I feel like they've done okay. Yeah. Right?
No, they're doing okay. And that's why I have faith that this is going to be good, especially the Dungeons and Dragons thing. I'm hyped that it's about dragons. This is going to be neat. I'm super excited to actually watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, what else we got?
Next thing we have is Maps is now in beta. Public beta.
Oh, D&D D&D Beyond.
Beyond, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the
I did not know this.
Virtual tabletop is in beta, and this is specifically the Maps VTT, which, if you haven't looked at it, is basically just expanded and more featureful now.
I was going to say, because we've had it in alpha.
Yes, we've had it in alpha, and we've been using it. The last time that we used it, it wasn't perfect.
No. Not by any means.
But it was good. It was acceptable.
It did what we needed.
It did what we needed. It's got a lot more features in it now that make it a lot more usable, and I think it's getting to the point where you can see that it's going to be a very viable thing.
Good.
I want to use it. So if I was going to be running a game for you guys anytime soon, I would be wanting to use the TV because I would want to use this for some of the new encounters and everything like that, because it's very cool now how seamless you can set up all your encounters as long as you have it tied to all the right stuff. So if you have a campaign made and you have all your characters in the campaign already, it's real easy to just drop them in and have them be right there in initiative in the encounters. You can have them jumping around between encounters without losing your place in an encounter. So you can have like multiple encounters going on without, like overlapping onto each other.
Okay.
You can pre-set up all of your encounters for like every single map that you're going to use for an entire campaign or one shot, and just have them ready to go, right? Just in the back end, and immediately load into them and work with them. The way the Fog of War is working now is really, really nice.
It's better.
It's way better now. There's a couple of like weird little minor tweaks with the visuals of it. So like the last time we used it, what was the name of that cave where we had the giant snake and we were playing with Garrett? That map is one of the featured maps when they were like showing off the public beta and everything like that. They were using that map as the example. And there is now, it just looks better. They have like the Legends key over to the side, so you can tell what different formations are on the map. So you know what things are. Little stuff like that just makes it look more visually appealing. Just generally speaking, everything seems to work really, really well. Like being able to drop monsters in, pull them out, hide them in the Fog of War, have them auto roll initiative when they come in to combat, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. If you do want to worry about that stuff or set initiatives, it's really easy to jump in and do that. It's really easy to set up groups of monsters versus singulars and everything like that. It's just a lot of quality of life improvements that's making it look really, really nice, and now making it more on par with other virtual tabletops that have already existed for years.
Shout out to you, Owlbear.
Yeah.
Owlbear Rodeo.
Yeah. So when you look at stuff like Owlbear and, like Roll20 and stuff like that, stuff that's been doing this stuff well for a long time, VTT is finally there now, or you can see the bones of it getting there. And I think it's going to be very appealing because it's built into D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Right.
I know last time we used it, we had a big issue that I know they've changed since then. They've added the feature where we had our DM view and player view, but we were playing locally and there wasn't a second screen option. Mm-hmm. So we had to do a finagling of like, okay, well then I log in on my phone and I join as a player and then I screen that to the virtual tabletop, the digital map, the TV on our table. And, we got around with that way, but then there's weird lag. And if it desynced, then I would do a change, but it didn't, show up for you guys. So as long as they're keeping these like, these features and functions that it's not just for playing across the interwebs, but also sometimes in person with a, TV on your table.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're making all these changes for the better and everything. Have they said after it ends in beta, is this going to cost anything?
So,
or is it just tied into your subscription?
I think it's tied into your subscription for the master tiers.
So that's what it is right now.
Yeah, and that's why it's going to stay.
Is that going to? It's going to stay that way.
Okay, stay that way. Yeah, it's going to stay tied into your master tier.
Have they? Is there any kind of? Do we know if there's going to be a increase to your master tier subscription fee? And then they're going to be like, oh, well, you get this new feature. It costs more now. And
they haven't said that.
But
I bet there will be,
because I'm already expecting an increase.
That's what I'm saying. I'm already expecting. I'm already expecting the increase. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They haven't said that, but I would not surprise me in the least. I'm already expecting there to be an increase.
I hate that
price.
Yeah. I'm already giving them so much money for you guys to read my books.
Yeah, I know. But I imagine it's probably going to happen.
Boo.
Yeah. But on the plus side,
I agree.
It is working better. And
absolutely.
Like you mentioned with the player facing versus the game master facing screens, that stuff all seems to be sorted now.
That was like the main reason I stopped using it.
I think the only thing that's weird and the only thing that I don't like is currently there is no way to remove the initiative track from the player's side of things.
Oh, interesting.
So that means that on the player's screen, there's always the public initiative track up top.
Right.
And I believe that includes like everything that's on the screen. So like I think if something might be hidden, it's still up there on the initiative track.
Oh, interesting.
I think there's ways to mark something to remove it so that it's not on the initiative track. But the initiative track is just always there, period. Which is helpful. Yes,
some games are going to use that, but I need the option.
Yeah,
I would like the option.
I would like the option to not have it up there. Yeah. Right. So I can just throw it up and you can just have your models on the screen or your little tokens on the screen. Yeah. And then if I want you to see the initiative track, then I'll show you the initiative track.
Right.
So yeah, there's just a couple little things like that. which would be helpful. Also, it'd be nice if they added some stuff in to be able to like look at monster stat blocks in there without having to have that like on a separate thing. So you can add your monsters in, right? And some of your information is on there. But if you want like full stat blocks, you're going to have to tab
Separate
over.
tab. Okay.
Yeah, and look at that kind of stuff. And these are all things that I'm assuming they're going to address in the future. But as of right now, the bones of what we're getting here are impressive.
Yeah.
And I would rather use a built-in system than seek an outside system.
Sure.
Especially when you have built-in die rolls and directly linking with your players' D&D Beyond profiles.
The best thing for me last time we used it was that it links, if you're running a module, that all your maps and the monster tokens you're going to need are ready to go.
Yeah.
Which is the cool idea if Sigil Sigil ends up working out the way we hope it does. And if we can go into, the Shatter Obelisk or something like that and load up an encounter and boom, it's already ready to go and the monsters you need are already like set up and you can make adjustments and stuff. But hey, guess what? It's already here. And this might not be that setup for you, but it's all easily accessible.
Yeah, it's all easily there.
Yeah, you drop down menu, find the map you're looking for, search up the monsters you need real quick for your encounters and everything, and boom, hey guys, let's go. And if you're a DM, you can set that up in 5-10 minutes. It's part of your prep time before game day, and you're good to go. Or even if you're just playing on the fly and you have a map in mind, you can just search it up real quick.
Yeah, you can search it up and throw stuff up in there. Yeah,
so really cool. Glad it's improving and they haven't given up on it.
Yeah, so if you're interested, check it out. It's in beta right now.
Yep, just need that master tier.
Yep. Next thing we have on here is one that surprised me.
I know nothing about this.
I thought would be right up your alley.
I want this.
Which is the 50th anniversary vinyl drop.
How much is it?
So Bardic Inspiration, a musical journey through the Forgotten Realms, launches November 15th. So 2 days from now.
2 days from recording.
When we're recording, if you're listening, it's already out. You should go check it out.
Pre-order or release?
It is a release, I think.
Oh, snap.
And this is composed by Michael Gatt. It's 12 tracks that they say, quote, serve as an oral homage to the rich lore and enchanting adventures that have defined Dungeons & Dragons for half a century.
As much as you give me for pronouncing things wrong, homage? Homage? I hate you.
It's spelled homage.
I hate you so much.
Homage. Like herb?
Yeah, herb.
No. Homage, herb.
All right. It's fine because I do this all the time. It's just funny because in like 2 years of doing this show, it's never you. It's always me.
I'm staying by homage.
I'm on the other side this time, and it feels weird.
This side of the table for homage.
Oh my god! Give me comments.
It is a 12-track vinyl, which has a lot of songs on here. I have already listened to one of them, which is Arise Tiamat.
They've already got it up.
So Arise Tiamat is already up right now on Apple Music.
Okay.
And that one is
it's just the one.
Really, really good. Yes, it's really, really good. It's very ambiance.
Ooh, perfect.
Which I like.
How long are these songs?
So Rise Tiamat is, I think it's like 4 minutes.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
And are they easily be looped?
I was gonna say, are they loopable?
It's not.
They know what they're doing.
Be looped.
No.
At least it didn't sound like it.
Okay.
But this might just be the Apple release.
Sure.
I could definitely see this like looping quite easily. But there's some really interesting stuff on here. I want to listen to specifically the third one on here, "In Praise of Lolth." I want to know what this song is, and I am hype. I want this. I don't even have a record player. I'm going to buy a record player.
Not yet.
Because I'm going to get this vinyl.
Is this vinyl gold?
I don't know. So I know the case, so the box, whatever you call, I don't know what you call a vinyl thing.
The sleeve?
The sleeve. Yeah. That's the word. The sleeve is a gold dragon.
Yeah, this vinyl better be gold.
So it's going to be gold. But we'll just go down really quick here. The names of the things on here. We have Across the Forgotten Realms, Neverwinter, Ever Upward, In Praise of Lolth, Blood and Coin in Baldur's Gate, Drizzt and his Companions, Fight the... Oh, wait, no, I skipped Lords.
I was going to say, what? You skipped Lords and Liars of Waterdeep.
Liars of Waterdeep, yeah. Then we have Flight of the Five Factions.
Yep.
Menzoberranzan, Matron's Right. We have Light of Candlekeep. We have Arise Tiamat, which I've already listened to. Skullport Shadows, and Fare Thee Well, live from the Yawning Portal.
That's fun.
How many of these are just going to be music? Is Fare Thee Well an actual song?
But these have to be, right? Ooh.
So TMI has no...
You're talking like
vocals.
Score style, just instrumentals.
Just instrumental. I'm assuming all of these are instrumental, except for Fare Thee Well.
I bet Fare Thee Well has lyrics.
That's what I'm thinking.
But I'm hoping it has that live tavern-y like backing to it.
That's what I'm wondering, is if it's going to have lyrics, because it's going to be like that, like everybody's drunk singing in the tavern.
Yeah.
Like, you know, kind of
raise a pint.
Yeah. I think this is fun, and like I said, right up your alley.
I want this so bad. I want this so bad.
Exactly. When I saw this, I was like, "Oh, this is made for Tyler."
Silly question: is this going to be available at your friendly local game stores?
I would assume so.
Do you really?
Yes.
You think?
I think they're going to stock it at like our local game store.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I'll see it in there.
I hope I do.
Yeah,
that's where I'd like to buy it. I don't want to have to get this off Amazon or go to FYE or something.
No, I think you're going to be able to get it at your local shop, because I think they're going to realize that, yes, their clientele is going to be in there buying Dungeons & Dragons supplies.
The one vinyl they have.
We're going to put this vinyl up on the register. We're going to set it right next to the books.
I'll get it.
It's going to be at your
limited
your local game store,
edition.
especially like our best one. You really think they're not going to have it there?
Oh man, so good.
Yeah,
I'm glad you finally went there.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah,
we have a really, really good like local game store that I didn't know about, that I finally went to, and they seem like the exact kind of place that's going to sell this record.
Yeah, it's the kind of place you picture when you picture a friendly local game store. Mm-hmm. Unlike our other game stores.
Yes, some of them are very not friendly.
Not friendly.
They're
just game store.
Antithesis of friendly.
Yeah. But this one
of them tried to arrest me once as a child.
This is a factual story that happened to Richard.
True story. So not friendly. So not friendly. I was innocent.
He was
genuinely innocent.
Yeah.
Proven so by actual police officers.
That's a tale for another episode.
But speaking of friendly local game stores, our last story of the day is One Shot Days. So I don't know when you're listening to this, but One Shot Days is something that they are that Wizards of the Coast is doing for local game stores from the November 4th all the way through December 31st. And this is kind of cool. What it is a way to get people in and playing Dungeons and Dragons at your friendly local game store. So there are 3 different one-shot quests. The first one is Joy of Extra-Dimensional Spaces, which is from Candlekeep Mysteries. The second one is Salted Legacy, which is a journey through the Radiant Citadel. And then the last one is Prisoner 13 from Keys of the Golden Vault. So these are one-shots that have pre-made characters. Right. So there's a bunch of characters that you can download when you request a PDS for these things. You can request those as well. So you can just go to a group of new players and be all like, here's what you're playing. Here's what you're playing. Here's what you're playing. Or they could bring their own level 1 character here, because these are all like low level quests. These are getting people into Dungeons and Dragons kind of situation, and play with those characters. And this is really cool. I like this a lot. Just free little things that they can toss out there for people to play. I have not looked at any of these yet, but during this whole thing, I'm going to get the PDS for them, because this might be something that we use in the future just for like in-game, like in-house usage. You know what I mean? Like, because they could be kind of fun for like a little one shot or something like that. Because I mean, they're all curated experiences. They're designed for, your friendly local game store to get people in and get people playing Dungeons and Dragons.
So what I was going to say is, this is something where, our gaming store, right? I should be able to go on there. Mm-hmm. They have a DM setup, and I would go in as a player and just learn how to play the game.
Yeah, so basically the game shop would have a game master, right? And ready to go. And then they would basically go in and say like, okay, well, I'm running a game. I need this many players.
But if you're not able to attend, you can get these PDFs for free online?
Yes, you can get these. I think you have to go through this small application process to get them.
Okay.
So yeah.
Just saying that you're going to run it?
Basically that you're going to run it essentially.
You should do that.
And it would be interesting to be able to run these for a local shop.
I was going to
too.
say, you should absolutely do this.
Yeah. So it
I
would
want
be
to
a
attend real
lot
bad.
of fun. It would be a lot of fun. And also there is digital dice that go along with this. So if you actually participate in one of these programs with one of these
do
stores,
they reward you with dice?
They reward you with a set of digital dice that are specific towards playing in one of these games, which is a lot of fun. So when I read this, I thought it was very interesting, and I immediately was wondering if our local game stores had already done this. So if they've already set this up, if they've got somebody doing this yet or not. Because if they don't, there's obviously an opening there. Maybe one of us might want to run some games.
I can't wait to play in your game. You gotta let me know when you're running it so I can show up. I would love to be a player in your game.
We don't know. I mean, they might already be completely full at our FLGSs or not, but it's just
I'm
cool
about to find out.
It's a neat little thing, like I said, that they're running for. They've been running it. It already started in early November, so just for us, like a week or two ago, and they're running it all the way through December 31st. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and it's just a one night thing, so it's not like a huge overarching story. You get together your players, however many there are. I don't know how many you need for each one yet because I haven't read any of the stuff about it yet.
Right.
But yeah, cool, just different way to get people in. And it's actually really cool because the scope of it, right? So you're getting one from Candlekeep, one from Radiant Citadel, one from Golden Vault. These are very different stories, right? So it's kind of cool that they have 3 different things so that you can curate your game to the kind of people that might be playing in it. Right. So if you have people that are interested in, prison heist and heist stuff, you're looking at Golden Vault versus Candlekeep Mysteries.
Well, as you say, and if you're just let's say you go to our people and you're like, hey, I want to run this game.
Yeah.
You're not offering a selection. You're saying I'm going to run this game, right?
Yes,
and the people are signing up based on their interest.
Would sign up on their interest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I've got Candlekeep Mysteries right over there.
Yeah.
So
I just thought it was really cool.
Early for that. No, it's just rad.
It's neat.
And then it's oh God, I go back and forth on this too. It's 3, one shots from books that are already established and being sold. Well, if you want more from that book, it's right over here on the shelf.
It's right over here on the shelf. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's cool though.
For sure.
So yeah, if that's something you're interested in,
keep an eye out.
Playing in, check with your local game store, see if anybody's running these games.
One-shot days.
Get your digital dice too.
Need them to keep things like this going on forever because they got Adventures League and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but that's intimidating for some people.
Yeah, no, I think that's the one thing I really like about this is that this is something that they're just doing for these 2 months.
Yeah.
I would like to see them to continue to do stuff like this because it's something that I've seen in other tabletop things that I used to participate in. So before I was, doing this stuff, I was doing tabletop wargaming.
Nerd.
And I worked with local game stores to run games and teach people how to play those games. And I worked closely with the companies that produce those games. Specifically, I was working with Privateer Press for a long time before working with, Warhammer, stuff like that. But being in the press gang, I worked directly with the local game stores to get in materials just like this, essentially, but the war game version of it.
Yeah.
And I would run either demos teaching people how to play the game, or I would run straight up tournaments for the game for people that would last, either a single day or 2 nights, whatever it may be. And then they would get, either digital things for participating in those games with me or learning those games with me, or actual things that were sent to me by the company to give to them for doing that kind of thing. And it was massive then for tabletop, because it was a way to get somebody who would see people playing the game in the store but feel really intimidated.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Wanting to ask to join or wanting to ask to play, when I was just standing there and I'd be all like, hey, that's why I'm here. And that's why we're here tonight, is because you might be interested.
Yeah.
Let me show you this.
Do you want to get to that point?
Do you want
play
to play
one
this?
round?
Yeah, play with me. Sit down and I'll teach you everything you need to know about the game. I'll answer any of your questions and make sure that you have a good time playing this game. And it gets people into the game. I got a lot of people into the game just from being friendly and showing them and making it a less intimidating experience. Dungeons and Dragons can definitely benefit from this because there are so many people out there that I think want to play Dungeons and Dragons, but don't want to try and look for a group or feel intimidated trying to look for a group, or they see a group of 5 people sitting at a table when they go into the FLGS and they're laughing and having a good time. And they're like, man, I want to do that.
I wish I was having a good time.
I wish I was laughing and having a good time, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I wouldn't even know how to start playing a game like that.
Yeah.
And then programs like these, I think, are cool because, it gets those people in, or gets somebody, into a game where they are experienced. They do play Dungeons and Dragons, but they don't have a group right now.
Right.
Everybody loves playing a level 1 character, starting out a new character, or playing a one-shot. People we would love to do this. Like if I had nothing to do on a Saturday night and I walked into my FLGS and there was a group of people around the table and they're like, "Hey, do you want to play a one-shot Dungeons and Dragons?" Absolutely.
The same weekend, if you go back a bit, Richard and I did that on the road, like shot from the car episode. That same weekend, our local game store was doing a 50th anniversary, like 4 or 5 hour one shot that was pre-made characters, and it was catered and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, this is the dream. I can't wait to sign up for this. What date is it? Oh, the only weekend I won't be here at all. Yeah. Cool. I hope you guys have a good time.
Yeah.
So I need more things like this.
Yeah. I that's what the long story short here is that this is a really cool idea, and I'd like to see them do this more.
It only benefits them.
Yes, it only benefits them. And all they have to do is write some one-shot modules.
And they didn't even write any for this. They already existed.
Give out. Yeah, exactly.
And it's just adds to, hey,
existing.
Did you enjoy this? Buy the rest of the book.
Buy the rest of the book. Yeah.
Like this.
Or start playing Dungeons and Dragons, period.
Yes.
Play more Dungeons and Dragons.
You like this? You want to make your own character instead of a pre-made? Guess what? We have a book for that.
Do you want to run a game? There's a book for that.
Yeah.
Right? This only helps them. And it doesn't require a lot, at least not, like visually on paper, for them to do something like this.
Like, I'm sure there's some back-end stuff we don't know. And,
obviously working with the game stores and stuff like that. But I would really like to see them keep doing this.
Sure.
And I think that it's cool. I think they're going to see a really good push from this if they do it right and people are interested in it and they really make it well known. Then I think that's going to be the thing that holds us back, is people not knowing if their game store is doing it or when their game store is
I didn't know this existed until you brought it up to me. And then I still couldn't tell you off a very quick search if our store is doing it.
And I think that's the only thing that's going to hurt this. And I hope they figure that part out. And I hope they continue to do these a couple of times a year, not just like this is like a one-time
anniversary
thing and they're never going to do
something.
it again. Yeah, I'm really hoping that this is something that they expand upon.
I agree.
And that's the end of the news stories that I have for you today.
Oh, good. Well, we'll come back to this next year, I assume, and figure out our annual news
annual news roundup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. If you made it through this far, hi. You can find us on Blue Sky now. We're not going to be using X much more anymore. That's just a little, local news, and local as in the podcast you're listening to. So if you are on any of those podcasty audio only things, 5 stars is super appreciated. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those places. If you're on YouTube, a like and subscription is super duper appreciated. But for now, I've been Tyler.
And I've been Richard.
And we've been True Strike. Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Hey, adventurers. Thanks again for joining us today. Please be sure to give us a follow on your favorite podcasting platforms and YouTube. If there's any questions you'd like to write into the show, you can hit us up on Threads, Blue Sky, or Instagram. New episodes release every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for listening to True Strike.